Now, families are desperate to recover the remains of their loved ones. More than a week after twin quakes left a trail of devastation in Turkiye and Syria. One of those families is now camping opposite their destroyed apartment building, hoping for news on the remains of 4 missing people. Newzroom Afrika's Ahmed Kajee has more on the epicenter of the disaster.
The impact of last week's twin earthquakes is still being felt across Turkey, with millions of people displaced, tens of thousands of people who have passed away. The government will have a long way to recover what has taken place. But many of the residents, apart from just waiting for closure, have also been forced to move into tents just next to their houses because their houses and their homes have been completely destroyed by last week's earthquakes. The other challenge is also around the fact that they haven't received any closure and just not knowing whether their family members have survived or would have passed away as well. Joining me is one of those people who is waiting for 4 of his family members who have been lost in this particular earthquake. He joins me now. Thanks very much for your time today. Obviously, it's a difficult time for you at the moment. Just tell us which of your family members were in that building.
والله عندي ابوي واخوي واخواتي تنتين جوا لسه ميتين عايشين لعلم عند الله يعني ما بعرف بس يمكن ميتين يعني انه البنايه كلها كيف تطلع الطوابق ضل طابقين.
There's still 4 of his family members inside the buildings, his parents and 2 of his sisters, and he's the only one who could get out of that building. The other part of the family were in the building next door, so they survived the earthquake, thankfully.
Can you just take us through what happened when the earthquake struck on Monday last week?
كنا نايمين ما عرف سيدنا للبناية تروح وتجي تطلع وتنزل يعني إننا متنا قام رب العالمين يعني نجاني أنا وعيلتي يعني أنا وولادي ومرتي أنا ومرتي وولادي عندي ولادين 2 صغار كبسة البناية فينا 3 طوابق لتحت.
He's saying thankfully that night he was sleeping with his family at 4 o'clock when the earthquake happened. The building started shaking and he woke up with his wife and 2 of his children and got out safely before the building collapsed on the other family members.
And then you staying in a tent like this one over here, how are you managing with all your family members to live in this tent right now?
عايشين هلا انتم بخيمه برا شلون عم تقدرون تعيشون بهالاوضاع هاي شلون الوضع؟
الله عم نستنى انه تطلع العيله بخير وسلامه ندفنها وبعدين لكل حديث حديث. انلو.
They are waiting for the bodies to get pulled out and so they could have a closure and then they will think of the situation. They are only focusing on finding the bodies, doing the funeral and having a closure.
That's just one of the brothers taking us through his experience. Absolutely heart-wrenching to think that he is waiting for 4 of his family members. Many of them are just staying in a small 2-person tent just opposite their home as well. Heartbreaking scenes over here, considering that there's at least 6 or 7 family members battling and fighting the bitter coldness over here in Turkey. The temperatures are ranging between -2 and -3 degrees Celsius all the way up to a maximum of 3 or 4, and that bitter coldness that one would experience every night must make it exceptionally difficult for this family. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Ahmed Kajee in Turkey.